What's that sound? Do you hear it? That's right, it's Foraging Friday! We're gonna go forage, but we're actually right on the edge of our driveway, so we're not going that far. We haven't done a Foraging Friday series in a while, or video. We've only done 2 or 3 videos on that series. This summer I planned on doing a lot of videos, and you know what? It didn't happen. I only did about a video a week. Just busy, and our internet is not good in the country. But we're gonna forage some wild elderberry. This is all we need. This gallon jug and a pair of series in a while, or video. We've only done 2 or 3 videos on that series. This summer I planned on doing a lot of videos, and you know what? It didn't happen. I only did about a video a week. Just busy, and our internet is not good in the country. But we're gonna forage some wild elderberry. This is all we need. This gallon jug and a pair of scissors. So they're pretty easy to identify, especially if you recognize the flowers in the spring and early summer, clusters of white flowers. The bark, I think, is very distinct. It's kind of grayish with bumps all over it. But literally right on my driveway is tons of great foraging food, tons of sassafras. There's pine trees for pine tea. There's jewelweed right here. What else do we got? We got tulip poplar if I ever wanted to, make tulip poplar bark or something, or harvest it. And the bees love the tulip poplar flowers, actually, so that's a nice thing. Literally right here by my driveway. So driveway, not driveway. Literally right here is some elderberry. So we're gonna get a close look at these delicious little berries. That's your elderberry. I didn't even need scissors. So these are the elderberries that people love to make elderberry syrup and elderberry jam. Let's go ahead and taste one and I'll tell you what I think. So again, these guys are pretty easy to identify. They're mainly ripe. There's a few unripe ones. But the thing is with elderberries, they ripen over about 3-week period and the birds get them. So you have to kind of battle the birds. You got to harvest when you can and as soon as you can so the birds don't get them. Birds have already gotten some of mine. I think the harvest was a little bit earlier than normal. Let's taste a tiny berry. Now, the berries themselves, it tastes okay. Kind of like a tiny blackberry, I think, almost. Like a slightly bitter blackberry. But the real magic comes when you make this into elderberry syrup. So you have to do boiling them usually. I'm going to dry my elderberries in the food dehydrator. I bought a cheap food dehydrator, only 25 bucks. It sort of works, and I've only used it once on peaches, and peaches aren't super easy to dehydrate, so I'm hoping these elderberries will do a good job of being dehydrated. And the nice thing about that, then I don't have to store them in the fridge or freezer, and anytime I want to make elderberry syrup, I have the dried berries. There's a chance I may use some fresh ones. We'll just see what happens. But let's go ahead and keep harvesting. So as I'm harvesting, I've been gone for a couple days. We were out of town and our truck broke down. Check out that beautiful butterfly. Is that Joe Pye weed? I'm not sure about that one. I'll have to double check. But this is good news too. Jewelweed, which I'll probably do a video on jewelweed, has started to bloom. Just a beautiful flower. Bees love it, and you can use it for poison ivy. Also, some goldenrod has started to bloom. Which again, that's great for my bees. I haven't gotten any honey yet, but I'm hoping to get some from the goldenrod and the jewelweed bloom. So as you can see, this is a wild bank basically. There's our house and such. Here's the wild bank. I did plant some elderberries on a hill, but my new idea is, you know what? This is where the elderberry likes to grow. Why not plant it where it likes to grow? It's right in the creek. I won't have to water it. But it does make it a little more difficult to harvest. I gotta cross, there's a little creek down there, maybe you can hear it. But a lot of my elderberries are across the creek. So I'm gonna have to jump the creek there and keep on harvesting. Here's what we got so far, not too much. I even took some of the dried berries because that's okay. But let's keep going. So we're on the other side of the creek. Looks like there's more elderberries that I can access from this side of the creek. But as far as habitat goes, literally, at least my elderberries, my wild elderberries, are either growing straight from my creek, which is a small spring, or they're within 3 feet of the creek. I'm maybe 6 feet from the creek right now, and there's no elderberries growing. That doesn't mean that's where the only place they'll grow. I actually have a few growing in full sun, not near water, but they're not doing as well. They don't have berries. These plants have a good amount of berries. They're right next to the water, so they seem to be thriving. Some other plants, we got a maple tree, Virginia knotweed, which is not Japanese knotweed, so that's okay. Also, if you look, let me see if we can get that. You may be able to see in the back, we have a new horse run-in. I did not build that. We had a guy and his crew build it in like 2 days, if you can see it. I think that is a misconception with people that are homesteaders. You don't have to do everything by yourself. You can ask for help. I could have built that. That would have taken a long time. But they had 4 young guys that came and put the post up one day, and the next day they had it built. So sometimes it's okay to ask for help. Let's see if I can access these berries. This is a problem with the elderberries right now. Since they are wild, they are in the middle of a bunch of brambles. I'm looking at a hummingbird right now enjoying the jewelweed. Let's see if we can get it on camera. There it went. Hopefully you saw that little hummingbird. If not, it's actually perched right now. And it flew back down, so the hummingbirds love the jewelweed too. Just another reason that I like all these wild natives. So this plant here, for some reason people confuse it with elderberry sometimes. This is pokeberry. People around here make that poke salad. My wife's dad, born and raised in Appalachia, and he definitely ate a lot of poke salad. I don't know why people get this confused just because the berries are similar colors, but pokeweed looks totally different from elderberry. There are some uses for pokeberry. I'm not going to talk about them in this video. Some people even plant them in their gardens just because they're kind of a cool looking plant. But this, not elderberry. Over here is our goat pasture that we don't have goats anymore. And it's overgrown. It's only been about a month and a half that the goats have left. And we do put the donkeys in here every now and then, the mini donkeys. But basically it's became a wild flower bed. There's butterflies. I just saw a hummingbird, can't really get that one on camera. Lots of wildflowers growing in this reclaimed pasture. Of course I'm gonna have to take care of it, or it's gonna turn back into woods. Succession. I'm hanging out here with Stella the pig. We got, well, don't eat my elderberries, girl. We got an okay small harvest of elderberries. Nothing crazy, a couple cups maybe. But that's enough to get started. Again, this is early in the season for elderberries. This is about what we got. So that's okay. I'm happy with that harvest to start. And I'm gonna look more on my property. We got a couple other springs and creeks and things like that. There could be wild elderberry growing. I actually know there's another spot further down on my driveway that I need to investigate. So what I'm gonna do with my elderberries with this batch, I'm gonna dry them in the food dehydrator. And this fall, I hope to make some elderberry syrup. So thanks for hanging out, and keep on foraging.